Hey all, it's Bruce from Pocket Guns and Gear, and I'm out here today to do a little test shoot, first time out, with the DoubleTap Defense DoubleTap Tactical Pocket Pistol in 45 ACP. It's currently unloaded. So today I just want to get a few shots on paper so you can see if these claims of excessive recoil and impossible to shoot and all the other concerns are valid or not. And I also want to test whether the pistol will fire the bottom barrel first or the top barrel first. So I've got a bunch of ammunition. Don't plan on getting through very much of it at all, but I am definitely going to shoot it today. Set up the high-speed camera and let you take a real close look at how the recoil impulse is with this pistol. It's about a pound fully loaded, so it's light. The issue is it's very thin, and that thinness concentrates that recoil across a very small area. I've actually brought some gloves for the first time ever that I will be wearing just till I get the feel for it and see just if it's really as harsh as people say it is. So I'm not getting hung up on recoil. I'm out here to shoot the gun, doggone it. I've waited forever, since October of 2011, for this thing to eventually end up in my hands. So like everybody else that's reviewing the guns, we all got them by buying them. There are no review samples going out. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but it's now in my pocket and I'm not printing. Step back. What makes it attractive is it is very slim. There's not much to it, and because it's only slightly over a ½ inch wide, it conceals really well. I mean, there's no big bulge in my pocket. Okay, the bottom barrel, I'm going to put a Winchester 230 grain full metal jacket, just Winchester white box. Top cylinder is going to be a Remington 230 grain jacketed hollow point. Target is at 10 feet. So again, I'm just trying to get a picture of what it's going to be like to shoot this thing. Hopefully these gloves are going to work. In range everywhere. I'm using the DoubleTap's recommended grip. Making sure that it's seated properly. Holy Mother of John Moses Browning! Does this thing kick? It's not that bad. I have gloves on. You definitely know you shot something. I want to stop. Alright, it fired top barrel first. So we're going to test that after we do a second shot here. Alright, wow. So the Remington was actually lighter than the Winchester, or it could just be repetitive stress. Yeah, that's got a little wallop to it. So hopefully you guys will see that on the high speed. Realized while I was editing this that I'd actually caught myself extracting the spent brass. Usually a brisk tap or two was enough to get the brass started out of the chamber. Winchester was the most difficult to extract. Remington fell in the middle, and Federal just dropped right out of the barrel. Alright, for the first two shots it shot top barrel, bottom barrel. What we're going to do is dry fire, which means the trigger should cycle back. That should have been the top barrel. So now when we reload it, it should be bottom barrel first, then top barrel. So we're putting the Remington on the bottom and the Winchester 230 grain full metal jacket on the top. Sun's out, so hopefully we'll get a good shot here with the high speed. Alright. Alright, bottom barrel first. So it is. You can, wow. You can monkey with the trigger and set it to select or to shoot the bottom barrel first. I'm going to show you this. There's a little bit of a primer mark on that top round. Make sure. That kind of sucks. Because if this thing actually ignited both at the same time, like in a double, that would not be good. I cannot imagine what the recoil would be like then. So now it's set bottom top. It should fire bottom top for the rest of our trip on the rest of our time on the range, unless I dry fire it again. Interesting. The first shot, let me get the camera going here, the right location. This is something else I wanted to test, and I'm actually getting the opportunity to test it right now. And this is important. It's kind of a little thing I learned when I used to shoot shotgun. When you've got an over and under, you want those barrels regulated to hit the same point of aim. So this was my first shot, this was my fourth shot, and they were both with the Winchester Full Metal Jacket 230 grain. They were both in the top barrel. This was my second shot, and this was my third shot. That was with the Remington in the bottom barrel. So the bottom barrel hits the point of aim. The top barrel, you know, I bring this stuff out to the range for a reason. The top barrel shooting about 4.5 inches higher. Call it 5 inches because it's a 45 slug. So that's important to know. Ideally, like I said, you want the barrels regulated to hit the same point of aim. I'm not sure how much more shooting I'm going to do today. Basically, in 4 rounds, I've answered all my questions that I had about the double tap. One is, are the barrels regulated? The answer is no. One shoots about 5 inches higher. And again, this is from 10 feet, so if I backed up a little bit, maybe it's a different story. 2 was recoil, and it is stout. It's definitely going to be concentrated exactly where you're holding that gun, which for me was right here, and even with the gloves I could feel it. It stings a little bit right now. 3 was, can you, by monkeying with the barrel firing sequence, get the bottom barrel to shoot first, which is really what you want, because the bottom barrel is more in line with your hand, and it should cause the gun to muzzle flip less than if you fire the top round first. Basically, it allows you to get back on target faster if you shoot the bottom barrel first. So there's 3 questions answered. It's not fun, but it's not built to be fun. It's built to be something you have on you all the time. It's not a range gun. It's not a fun gun. Definitely more in the line of the class of the C-Camp 380, which is, you know, a lot of firepower in a very small package. That's exactly what this is. It's a very small package. Packs a 45 punch. One more thing I want to try. I'm going to press my luck, shoot a couple more through it. Seems a shame to come all the way out here to the range and only shoot a few. I'm going to go to one glove. Not that that makes a difference to you guys, but I really don't need the glove on this hand. And I've got some Federal Classic 185 grain 45 ACP that I've had in my collection. Actually, the label on it said 1998, so it's quite old. It should work just fine, but I want to see if 185 grains make a difference on recoil impulse, because if they do, 185 grain may be my carry ammo of choice, maybe something along the lines of a critical defense or a golden saber or 185 grain. Okay, and this should shoot bottom barrel first again if we've got the trigger figured out appropriately. This is full power 185 grain Federal Classic 45 Auto. Again, adopting the grip recommended by the folks at DoubleTap. Yay! Alright, 185 didn't make a hill bit of difference. I would guarantee you the bottom barrel shot first, just based on where the bullet landed. Bottom barrel first. And again, I think I might have to do a little research. We've got a dimple on that top primer. If you've got a high primer, boy, that would be a bugger if you had a double detonation, basically shooting both rounds at once, because the firing pin jumped forward and set off that top barrel along with the bottom. Alright, now this one should hit where the other two did, which again is along the, right under the logo of the target company. Hit a little higher. Could have been because it's 185 grain versus 230, but it definitely hit higher. Or maybe I'm flinching and yanking the gun muzzle down because my hand hurts. Oh man, this gun is going to save me so much money on ammunition. It's unbelievable, because 6 rounds and I'm about done for the day. Alright, I actually want to do some terminal testing this weekend, so I don't want to booger up my hand. And honestly, I've got a really serious concern about that dimple showing up on the the dimple showing up on the round that's not firing. So I may shoot a email off to the folks at DoubleTap Defense when I get home and ask them about it. Hey, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you like the channel, go ahead and subscribe.